Good morning, students. Today we will begin a new chapter. Okay, that is chapter number 11, tenses, which is coming for your second unit test and also your last chapter to work on. Okay, as you can see, chapter 11, tenses, is a very easy chapter. It's not a chapter where we have. It's not a chapter which is new for you. This is a chapter which you have an idea about it. I'm sure you have an idea about it. But still then, we will not neglect it or take it easy, because again, tenses is very important. It's easy, but it's very important. You need to know it. Okay, so let's just get started. Now, first thing first is, if you see, a chapter is very vast. Okay, there is a lot of things and a lot of examples given there, which is good. So you can read and then you can understand it. Okay. Now another thing is, I'll try not to go line after line what is in a book, but we have to follow the order. So if you know, tenses, generally we know there are three types of tenses. Okay, which is your past, present and future, or you can say present, past and future. Okay, these are your three important tenses, okay, which we know. Now, even these three tenses have categories, 4 categories each. Okay. Now, if you see, present tense has 4 categories. Okay. Your first is present tense. Present tense, category number 1 is your simple present. 2, present continuous. 3, present perfect. And 4, present perfect continuous. Okay. Same you will do it with past continuous. Sorry, past tense. Second is past tense. Category past tense number 1. Past, simple past. Second one, past perfect. Third one, past continuous. And fourth one is past perfect continuous. Okay. And last one, future tense. Again, future tense. Simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. Okay. Now we need to know what it is all about. What is simple present? What is simple past, simple future, present perfect continuous? We need to know that. Okay. So quickly, simple present is used for these 4 things. Okay. Simple present. Simple present is a simple sentence. Okay. And used for what purpose? To express what is actually taking place now. Any action that is being taken place now is your simple present. Also to express habitual action. Any action that you have as a habit, so that is your simple present. To express universal truth. Universal truth is something which you cannot deny. Okay. So like Earth revolves around the sun. Okay. Or Earth is round. So that is a universal truth. You cannot deny. It is a fact. Yes or no? So to express universal truth, we always use simple present tense. And lastly, to express a future action, that I am going to do something in my future. So that is, again, we are going to use simple present tense. These are your 4 things where you need to keep in mind when you are using simple present. Now for present continuous. Now present means at the moment, continuous means any action that is being still going on. Yes or no? So present continuous is used to express an action going on at the time of speaking. So at the time when you are saying it and the action is continuous, going on. So that is when you are using present continuous. Okay. Present perfect is used to express an action that has just been completed. Okay. An action that has just been completed, we use present perfect tense. Okay. Also to express a past action, the result of which still continue. Okay. Any action that was done earlier, but the result is continued till now. So that time we use present perfect. And also to express a future perfect, when such words we use, that is when, before, as soon as, till, after, are used before it, we use present perfect tense. Okay. Now present perfect continuous shows that the action that began in the past is continuing up to the present time, is your present perfect continuous. Okay. Now simple past. present, simple present or present tense done, or simple past, to express that something was done or took place at a particular time in the past is your simple past. Okay. Past continuous, again, so any action that is your past earlier that you've been doing and it still continues is your past continuous. Okay. Indicates that the action was going on in the past time referred to. Okay. Past perfect is used to denote an action which had been completed at some point in the past time before another action commenced. Before another action actually started. Okay. So an action that has just completed at some point of time before another action started. Okay. That time we are going to use past perfect. And last is past perfect continuous, shows that the action had begun prior to the past time being referred to. So in keeping in mind the action that has just begun, okay, we are referring to it. So past perfect continuous. Okay. Now next is simple future. Denotes an action that will take place in future. Simple future, very simple. What it denotes is an action that will take place in future. Okay. Future continuous denotes an action going on at some point in the future. Okay, so at this time I will be doing this. So any action that is that denotes an action going on at some point in the future. Okay, that is your future continuous. Future perfect denotes that an action will be completed at some point in time in the future again. Future perfect is again, what is it? It expresses or denotes an action that will be completed at some point of time in future again. Okay, and lastly, future perfect continuous shows that the action, whether finished or unfinished, has been in progress for some time. Is your future perfect continuous. Okay. And if you see down here, after every types of tenses, they have given examples, 1 or 2 examples. Go through it. Okay. Then they have also given page number 89 errors in the use of tenses. What are the mistakes that we do when we are using tenses? Okay, so that also you need to see. Okay, so keep that in mind. Read every sentence very carefully, and then also you need to know another important thing is, which you have in the book, subordinate clause and principal clause. What is principal clause and subordinate clause? Okay, principal clause is something where you have the doer is present in your sentence is a principal clause. Okay, for example, he said, or if the name of a person is there, Ritu said. Okay, so that is your principal clause. Okay, a clause or a group of words where you mention the subject, the doer of the action. Okay, or he or she said something. So that is your principal clause. Rest remaining is your subordinate clause. Okay. So you always know that you have to keep in mind that principal clause is always higher, and then comes your subordinate clause. Okay. So she said, for example, she said that she was not guilty. She said she was not guilty. Now here, which is the principal clause? She said is your principal clause. Why? Because an action or something is being said by this person. Okay, this girl or she said. So that's why it's a principal clause. Subordinate clause, rest is your subordinate clause. That she was not guilty is your subordinate clause. Okay. Again, he replied that he would not help us. He replied that he would not help us. Now here, which is the principal clause? He replied. Why? Because you have here he, a pronoun which is saying something. The pronoun is saying something. He replied. Okay, he is a pronoun, so he replied. Okay, so here he is your principal. He replied, principal clause. Okay, and rest is your subordinate clause. That means that he would not help us is your subordinate clause. Okay, so keep that in mind, principal and subordinate clause. And rest, while learning and while reading the sentences and examples, I'm sure it will help you out to understand better. Any queries, any doubts, please